Hello, and welcome to AARP's presentation on the Nebraska Passport Program 2022. My name is Susan DeCamp, and I am an AARP volunteer and part of the West Omaha Community Action Team. AARP hosted a video presentation last year on the Passport Program, and it was such a hit that we decided to repeat the program with this year's Passport information. So I have the pleasure of introducing our guest speaker, Madison Johnson, with the Nebraska Department of Tourism, who will give us a sneak preview of the 2022 Passport Program. Madison serves as the Passport Program Coordinator for the Nebraska Department of Tourism, where she focuses on participation, program development and implementation, as well as training and educating selected program applicants regarding the benefits of the program. Madison also builds partnerships with state and local officials, visitor bureau staff and managers, and civic and tourism industry leaders. She received her bachelor's degree in hospitality, restaurant, and tourism management with minors in business, leadership, and entrepreneurship from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Originally from Fairbury, Nebraska, Madison grew up on an acreage outside of town and has a passion for Nebraska and rural communities. So welcome, Madison, and thank you for being with us today.
Yes, thank you. That was very nice. I like to say that introduction makes my job sound a little bit more plain and boring than it is. It's a very, very fun job. So without further ado, I will start sharing my screen and we can get this going. All right, is that working? Perfect. All right, so like she said, my name is Madison Johnson, and I am the Nebraska Passport Program Coordinator with Nebraska Tourism. And this is going to be a fun little overview of what we have in store for 2022. So quick little overview of what the program is in general. It's a fun, interactive travel program that gives both in-state and out-of-state travelers new ideas for places to visit. We like to use the term hidden gems because it's kind of a fun way to be kind of get the adventure out of everyone and say, hey, here's a few places you can discover on your own. But then, of course, the overall goal is to positively impact Nebraska businesses. So the program offers a large variety of places that you can visit. It can be anything from retail stores, museums, state parks, coffee shops, restaurants, outdoor art displays, really gardens. Lots and lots of different places have been a part of the program. It's also super easy to participate in. So you just walk in and you say, hi, I'm a part of the Passport program. Then they give you a stamp, and then you can turn those stamps in to get prizes at the end of the season. It's also very cost friendly. So there's no participation fee to apply. And many of the stops don't charge anything for an experience. So example, if you walk into a store, you don't have to charge anything to explore their store. But kind of a fun way. It's completely free to do, and you also don't have to buy anything to get a stamp. So if you walk into a store, you don't have to purchase anything in order to get your stamp in your booklet. But obviously we want everyone to do that. That's the goal, but doesn't have to happen in order for you to participate. So this is the 13th year of the Nebraska Passport Program, and every single year it is different. So there are 70 stops spread across Nebraska, and they are different every year. So if you participated in the program back in 2021, you're going to get a whole new gambit of stops in 2022. And we pick those stops based on a variety of things, such as where they're at geographically in Nebraska, what they offer. And then, of course, we want you all to have a great experience at these places. So we want to make sure you're going into different stores across Nebraska and really having a great time. We want them to be friendly and want them to welcome you and be excited about the program. And you also are not going to go into 70 different restaurants. You're going to go into plant stores or museums or different things within every community. So it's a great way to kind of see what each region of Nebraska has to offer, and not just the state specifically, but kind of get a taste of the local culture as well. So 2021 was a record-breaking year. I will say every year of the Passport has been record-breaking. But last year we had 1,322 people make it to all 70 stops, which is just awesome. That number goes up by about 150 every year. So we love seeing that number climb as the program progresses throughout the season. We have an app that I'll talk about later, but through the Nebraska Passport app last year, there was almost 200,000 stamps collected. The average person that participated in the Passport program made it to 23 different places last year. So if you participated in 2021, there was a good chance you went to at least 23 different places, which is just incredible. We also printed about 55,000 Passport booklets last year. We're printing 60,000 this year because we almost ran out. So make sure that you can grab one of those. We should have plenty. And then we did an economic impact study back in 2019, and we're doing another one for last year as well. So those numbers should be out soon. But we did have an economic impact of $23.7 million in Nebraska. So we're really proud of that number. It really shows the value of the program for communities, as well as how wonderful all of our participants are. So I did this last year, and I don't know how it went over, but I thought it was kind of fun. So I do a little game, even when I do these presentations in person, but I'll just let you sit at home and think about if you know what these places are. So these are stops on 2022's program. And the first one is this one. Does anyone know where this is? Think about it in your mind. It's kind of an obvious one. Not a lot of places look like this in the world, but this is out by Alliance. This is Carhenge. If you've never been there, it is a replica model of Stonehenge in England, but made out of cars, and they're all painted gray, and it's actually a really cool place to kind of hike around. It's very unique, very interesting, very Nebraskan. This one might be a little bit difficult, but this is in Lincoln, if that is going to ring any bells for people. That we're really excited to have this stop on this year. This is a unique one, but this is Robbers Cave in Lincoln. So it is an underground cave that was kind of carved out throughout the last, I don't know how long, probably 100 years. And it is a cool, unique experience. So definitely check that out when you're in Lincoln doing the Passport. You do have to make reservations ahead of time in order to get a tour. So just keep that in mind, but very excited to have them a part of it this year. This one, if you notice, this might be the background of my presentation this year, but it's also the front cover of our booklet. So does anyone know where this is? I can give you a hint. It's in Omaha. This is the headquarters of the Lewis and Clark Trail. That's where it started, but this specifically is Bob the Bridge. It's a bridge that spans between Nebraska and Iowa, and it has a mark on it where you know where the state line is, and it is, it's kind of become synonymous with Omaha and kind of the culture that they have. They love that bridge. They put a troll under it a few years ago named Omar. He's kind of wacky. So just make sure you check that out if you're ever in Omaha. And then this one is hard. This one is very specific, but I figured I'd throw a lake on here because we have a few of those this year. This one is in the Sandhills, if you can tell maybe in the background. It is not Lake McConaughey, but this is a favorite one that I know of a lot of family who spends a lot of time at this lake in the summer, but this is Calamus Reservoir in Burwell. It is a large reservoir, just kind of northwest of Burwell. And it's a great place to kind of go in the summer and cool off, especially when it gets really hot. All right, so why do the Passport? So I'm going to share some stories here pretty soon about people who have done the program. But a lot of people say that they have such a fun time, and it's such a unique way to spend this time with their families. They love supporting Nebraska businesses and learning much more about Nebraska. They love learning about the history and kind of what makes our state unique. And it's also fun and kind of addicting. So a lot of people will say, oh, I only had the intention of getting 10 stops. And then they go and they're like, well, I got 25. And then I figured out that if I go to North Platte this week, I can get 30. So then I'll just have to go and I'll get 50. And then, sooner or later they'll be a Passport champion. So they'll go to all 70. So it's kind of fun. And it's, again, just a very unique way to spend your time. So this one is from last year. So this is an apple a day keeps a toddler at bay. My mom, sister-in-law, 2-year-old niece, and I made a girls' trip to Arbor Day Farm. We decided to do the apple picking while we were there, and my niece absolutely loved it. We picked her a big Honeycrisp apple off a tree, and she would not set it down. Every time we asked when she was done, she would look at us and say, "No." By the time we got done picking our apples at the orchard, my niece had that huge apple eaten almost all the way down to the core. Arbor Day Tree Farm grows some delicious apples. That's from Shelby and Gresham. It's an adorable little picture. So 3rd year visiting all 70. Now that's a theme. We'll get a lot of people who do 70 every single year. They stick to their guns and they just absolutely love it. Just finished our 70th stop for the 3rd year. What have we learned? Nebraska is a great place to call home. It's not just the stops, but the people. Everyone is so nice and friendly. We have our favorites and visited many years from previous years. Till next year, here's a photo of this year's 70th stop, Michelle's Scrumptious Bakery in Juanita. Did I mention we got a free cookie? And then this is a favorite story. This is actually from 2021, but I just think this is the best. So celebrating with Sundays, Patricia is enjoying her 1st year doing the passport, while David is a 5-year veteran champion. So if you put it together, that means he's done all 70 stops for the past 5 years. Both widowed, their relationship began as a piano duet partners, then quarantine partners, culminating in their marriage in September. They decided to passport for their honeymoon and visited every stop from Niobrara to Arnold and all the stops west. One favorite was the Potter Sundry, where they enjoyed their signature treat, a tin roof sundae. It's David and Patricia from Elgin. And these are some more photos that people have put in. Last year, we did a celebration of the 100th anniversary of the Nebraska Game and Park System. So they had these little photo things scattered around all of their parks. So those were a popular place to take pictures. As you can see, it's a lot of families. It's a lot of retired folks with their grandkids. It makes it a good time for all ages. So I'll go over a few of our tours. I'll do kind of a general overview, but each year we separate out the program into 10 tours or themes. It's kind of just a fun way for us to organize the program. We really like to give it some character in that way. So here is the first one. This one is called Do It Yourselfie. The idea behind this one is that it's places where you want to take pictures, or you want to take Instagram photos, or you want to look around and go, man, this place is cool, and you want to take pictures of yourself there. So in this combination of photos, right there in the very center, we have Rooted Plant Co. in Kearney. That's a cool little plant store right off one of the main streets in Kearney. Then we have Valley View Flowers as a you-pick flower farm. Up north, we have Robbers Cave and then Carhenge. So again, just lots of cool places where you're walking around and you're going, this place is cool. The next one we have is Calf Fiendishly Good. That title is a little silly, but the idea behind this one is we had lots and lots of coffee shop supply for 2022. So we figured we could make an entire coffee tour. So we have the Gathering Grounds Coffee House in Osceola. We have Zabuni Specialty Coffee Auction in Grand Island. That one is cool. They do all local sourcing from their coffee beans from Kenya. We have the Table Coffee House down there in the center. That's in Wayne. And then in the right there is Nebraska Coffee in Kimball. So this is another fun one. This is called Animal Magnetism. Right there in the center, that is the Harrop Sandhills Park, kind of up by Taylor and Burwell area. That is a prairie that they've preserved that's got lots of amazing wildlife. There on the right-hand side is the Denton. So Spring Creek Arboretum is a completely untilled prairie. So it's a prairie that's been preserved since settlers first arrived in Nebraska, so it's never been tilled. So it is a wonderful place to see lots of native birds and insects and some other wildlife as well. Then the center, that's Niobrara National Scenic River. That's always a classic one. I remember last time I toured that Niobrara, I think I saw 2 bald eagles in a span of about 2 hours. It was crazy. And then in the bottom there is Crane Trust. So that is in Wood River. And that is a place to see all of the wonderful sandhill cranes during the migration. And then during the summertime, they have a lot of great exhibits about learning about the cranes, kind of figuring out why they come here, how long they live, all that kind of stuff. This year, I was in a blind, and I learned that sandhill cranes can be over 25 years old, which I did not know, and I think that that's just crazy. I would have assumed they lived to be about 10, but 25, goodness. So another tour we have this year is called Sewing and Sew On. The premise behind this one is we had lots of kind of crafting and art and quilt shop supply. So this one is focused specifically on quilt shops and different art stores. So right there in the center is Nebraska Quilt Company in Fremont. Then over there in the corner is Paint Yourself Silly here in Lincoln. That's a pottery store where you get to paint your own pottery, and then they fire it in their kiln for you, and then you can either pick it up or they can send it to your house. In the bottom right corner is some fiber from the fiber mill that's in Stromsburg. They make all of their own yarn and all sorts of different craft supplies. It's a very unique place. And then there in the center is a Lux Art Gallery here in Lincoln. And that one is an old art gallery made in the old city hall, kind of off of 48th and Layton, if you're familiar with Lincoln. And it's a cool thing. It's completely free, and they have 5 different galleries with all different kinds of art. So this is all of the icons. So all of the stamps that you're going to get on your passport all have these different icons on them. So you have a few of the farm to fork. So we have a kind of a farm to fork, farm to table type tour as well. The do-it-yourselfy. We have a family fun tour, a history tour, a coffee tour. We have a beer and wine tour, animals, food, sewing, and then of course shopping. This is a map of all of the stops in 2022, so you can kind of look around, see where maybe your favorite place to visit. If you love Scotts Bluff, we got so many stops over there this year. There's, those 6 just kind of right in that radius of Baird, Bridgeport, Scotts Bluff, Mitchell area. If you're a big fan of, Grand Island or Burwell. We have lots of stops up in the Burwell area this year too. So check them out, see what you got. You can find the full list of all of our stops either once you get a booklet, or you can find it on our website, which I'll go over here in a little bit as well. So how to participate. So the booklet, like I said, participating is free to everyone. You can request a booklet at nebraskapassport.com, or you can pick them up at any of the stops. Almost all of the stops should have their booklets by now. I know there's a handful, especially here nearby in Lincoln and Omaha, since I'm delivering them personally to save some money, that they don't have them yet. But especially come May 1st, when the program begins, we will definitely have booklets at every stop. So if you don't want to have to wait for them to come in the mail, you can swing by any of the stops near you, and they should have them available as well. There's also an app that's available for download on May 1st. These are some screenshots from last year, but this is kind of the general look of it. The app is really great because it allows you to get digital stamps. So if a stop is closed, or maybe you don't want to have to carry around a booklet, or for whatever reason you want to have a digital platform, it allows you to kind of do that. It also connects to your GPS, so you can just go in and find the stop you're looking for and press go, and it'll take you there. And then we also send out a lot of information throughout the summer too. So if like that, for example, Laughing Lamb Fibers in Sydney closed on May 14th or May 15th of 2021. So that's something interesting that you can always get up-to-date things for certain holidays or throughout the season in general. But again, the app update for 2022 will not be available until May 1st. I will say most people do both. I think the booklet is much more fun than the app. So even if you want to do all of your stamps in the app, I still strongly request that you get a booklet. So the 2022 season, we had over 325 applications. So we pick all of our stops from an application process, and it is hot. People love to apply. We get so many wonderful applicants each year. And it is very difficult to narrow it down to just the 70. I know a lot of people see 70 and they go, holy bananas, how is there that many? And I go, oh, I could have 100 every year, but I won't. The program opens May 1st and then runs through September 30th. So you have all summer to get stamps. And there's always lots of new and exciting prizes and prize drawings to be gained at the end. And then, of course, it's just fun for everybody. All ages can get on board and have a good time with the passport. So that's all I have. Thank you so much for everybody for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about the Passport program. You can get more information at nebraskapassport.com, that website right there. It's a brand new website, so it's all shiny, but it has all sorts of different information. If you want to read some more stories that people posted, if you want to look all the different stops, no matter what you want to do, we are here to help. If you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to our office. And I'm happy to answer any questions through my email, or if you need to give me a phone call, anything like that, just let me know. And again, be sure to get your booklets at nebraskapassport.com.
Thank you so much, Madison. I do have a couple of questions for you right now, if you don't mind. Just a couple of quick ones. Would you suggest that we call ahead to various venues that we know we're going to be visiting on a certain day to see if they are open? Or does the booklet or the app actually show what businesses are open what days?
Yeah, there is all sorts of information in the booklets in the app. It will have all the hours listed there, as well as addresses and phone numbers. So some of our stops do require that you make an appointment in advance, specifically like Robbers Cave if you want to get a tour, but you don't need to make an appointment to get a stamp. But you can always come back later and get a tour if you don't have time that day as well. But there is all that information in the booklets in the app. I will say sometimes the booklet hours get changed, or sometimes they're wrong because we're human. But make sure to check our website and the app updates for anything that might have changed as well. So you are more than welcome to call businesses and make sure that they're open, but hopefully all of that information is accurate.
Okay, great. Another question. You've talked a lot about the app. Is the app free?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. And you can participate without getting the app. Of course, you mentioned that. So is there a cost to participate as a vendor? Like the venues you choose, they do not have to pay to be included on the tour.
Nobody pays anything to be a part of the program. It's completely free for Passport stops. The app is completely free. We will never make you purchase anything. You can get one of these cool booklets that's, let's see, I think they're 52 pages long this year. So you can get one of these for free. And you can request if more than one if you'd like to give them to family and friends as well. If you have a sister or a brother and you go, oh my gosh, like their family would love this program, you can send them to their house. I don't care. I tell them to give them out kind of like hotcakes, just because it's an exciting, fun way. It's new. A lot of people still don't know about it, even though it's been around for 15 years and we have a lot of participation.
Yes, it's amazing. I think you said you printed 60,000 this year or 70,000. That's a lot.
Yes. It is a lot, and they are. Yeah, it takes a lot of work for the people who print our booklets. It's a lot, but so I will say, if you requested a booklet sometime in the last few months, I know we opened up the requests in December because we were getting lots and lots of questions about when people could request a booklet, but I know they're all starting mailings right now and over the last week. So if you requested back in December, you should be getting your booklet here any day. So that is always important to throw out there. And then if you request a booklet, you can usually expect to get it within about a week.
Okay, great. I think I requested mine about a month ago, so I'm anxiously waiting for it, and it should be here soon. So
yeah, you should be getting it any day now.
Okay, and then if you are a vendor who would like to participate, say in next year's program, do they just go to the website to apply for that?
So the applications open in September. So if you have lots of questions about being a Passport stop, you're more than welcome to reach out to me, and I can answer those questions that you might have, as well as put you on a list to be notified about the application opening. Usually the applications open from about September to the end of November of each year. So I can absolutely put people on lists to be known when it starts, and to make sure they don't miss the deadlines and things that are around. So yeah, and there's lots of information on the website as well about what a stop is kind of entails and how it all works. So be sure to check out the website as a resource.
Sure. Well, thank you, Madison, for another great presentation with wonderful information. I'm sure that everyone is now ready to and anxious to hop in their cars and hit the road and go visit these wonderful hidden gems in Nebraska. Um, it's amazing how much this program has contributed to not only the people by providing such wonderful, family entertainment and education, but also to the economy. The
Mhm.
impact it has made on the Nebraska economy is wonderful. So again, thank you for all that you do and for this presentation. And thank you to our viewers for watching. If you enjoyed the program, please press the like button on the screen and then share it with your Facebook friends so that they also have the opportunity to watch this great presentation. Everyone, have happy travels. Thank you.